This posh neighborhood. What brings you here? Our residence is in that towering condo over yonder. This enclave isn't exactly your scene, you know. Imagine bumping into him again, the wealthy fellow who betrayed me for a younger woman, leaving me in the lurch. And now they're both casting their judgmental gaze down upon me, still clad in modesty and simplicity. Huh. Oh, by the way, I happen to be pulling in $100,000 a year now. $100,000 a year? Must be quite the struggle, isn't it? Unexpectedly, my husband chimed in. My name's Evelyn, 28, and unemployed by a ceramics company. It all traces back to a family trip during middle school when we visited a pottery market my mom adored. Now it's my livelihood. While I relish pursuing my passion professionally, I've contemplated that remaining unattached might not be so bad after all. Life is full of surprises, never quite knowing what encounters lie ahead. Engaged in a town revitalization endeavor for a pottery market, I crossed paths with Jack, affiliated with an events firm, and our courtship began. Evelyn revels in her craft, and her dedication garners my respect. With her, I feel assured of building a home together. He'd often affirm, I harbored no intentions of relinquishing my career post-nuptial. Thus, I believed we could navigate through it. However, Jack's frequent business travels and weekend commitments often left us at odds, mirroring my own sporadic studio obligations. Regrettably, I realized too late that Jack increasingly reneged on our plans and evaded our wedding arrangements. His once prompt responses dwindled, leaving me in the dark. One afternoon, as I made my way to the station following a meeting, I caught sight of Jack across the street. A spur-of-the-moment decision led me to proceed toward him. Jack, are you finished with work? Shall we dine together? I called out as the light changed. To my dismay, he stood there accompanied by a striking woman with lengthy limbs, her arm intertwined with his. Evelyn, what brings you here? What an unexpected coincidence, he remarked, his tone betraying a hint of discomfort. I had just wrapped up a work meeting nearby when I stumbled upon Jack. Are you still at it, Jack? I inquired, though it didn't seem like he was engaged in business despite the circumstances. I maintained my composure, aware of his profession's nature, where he often mingled with models and companions. I greeted them both calmly. This is Grace, a model. Jack introduced her with a warm smile. Grace exuded style and elegance, a natural fit for her profession. Ah, so it's work-related, I thought, feeling a hint of relief, though I couldn't shake the discomfort of their intertwined arms. I reasoned it might be commonplace in her line of work. Hello, I'm Evelyn, I offered as a greeting. Jack's demeanor suddenly shifted and Grace, after a quick appraisal, burst into laughter. What? She's the fiancé. Oh dear, we've been discovered, Jack, she chuckled, turning to him. I told you to make haste. Now that we're here, let's set things straight, she declared, meeting my gaze directly. Jack turned to me with a grave expression. Evelyn, I'm dating Grace, he declared flatly. Shock washed over me as I struggled to comprehend his words. What, Jack? What are you saying? I stammered, bewildered by the sudden revelation. Grace interjected, her tone casual. Jack pursued me at an outdoor festival event, claiming he would end things with you, she disclosed matter-of-factly. So, thanks for everything up until now, she added, her words cutting deep. Wait, Jack, can't we discuss this? I implored, desperate for clarity. However, Jack remained resolute. There's nothing more to discuss. My decision is made. Grace is everything I want. Cute, stylish, and perfect. She's only 24 and comes from a wealthy family, he declared, his tone final. Jack, stop this nonsense. Just because my dad's a CEO doesn't mean I'll accept this. Grace interjected, her frustration evident. I'm going to marry Grace and become part of her family. Jack asserted, his resolve unwavering. You're quitting your job. I questioned, incredulous at the turn of events. The reality of the situation began to sink in. My engagement shattered, my future uncertain. Do you not love your work anymore? Grace inquired. It's more lucrative than my current job, Jack explained. Oh, and make sure to cancel the wedding venue. Don't worry, I'll cover the cancellation fee since it's my fault. Wow, Jack, that's so responsible, Grace commended. I just want to be with Grace as soon as possible. So cool. I managed to keep my composure, preventing myself from fainting. There seemed to be no point in saying anything more. It was evident that Jack was completely taken with Grace. I understand, I finally uttered. I can't cry yet, not in front of these people. Keep working hard, covered in dirt. I added as they walked away, arms still intertwined, laughter trailing behind them. 2 years post my breakup with Jack, as I turned 30, I remained dedicated to my work. Now I held no regrets about that man. In fact, I considered myself fortunate not to have married only to be deceived later on. That's how I perceived it. The process of crafting pottery energized me, and someone had been silently observing my efforts. Andrew, a craftsman at the pottery studio I had collaborated with for years. Despite initially thinking he was solely interested in ceramics, Andrew invited me to dinner. On the third occasion, he confessed his feelings. Surprised but also elated, I respected him as a craftsman. However, burdened by a significant trauma from my past, hesitated to enter a new relationship. With honesty, I disclosed everything to him. I had announced my engagement at work and among the pottery studio associates, so he was already aware of its cancellation. He listened quietly, offering his usual kind smile. That must have been tough, he acknowledged empathetically. Yes, I was actually shocked when I heard you were getting married. I believed it was only natural for someone as exceptional as you to have a partner, and I often blamed myself for not making a move sooner. His words caught me off guard. When you attempted to smile and announce the cancellation of your marriage, I wanted to offer my support immediately, but I understood you needed time. So I threw myself into my work, hoping to create pottery that would bring you comfort. Since then, you've been on my mind, and believe it or not, I've garnered some attention. Perhaps it's because of my grandfather's wealth, but I've been approached by several women, even dated a few. However, none of it brought me the excitement I find in working with clay. He spoke sincerely, not to boast or joke, and as I observed him, I realized how genuine he was. He looked directly at me. Evelyn, you're the first person I've ever wanted to make happy, he confessed. As laughter bubbled up within me, I felt the warmth in my heart. With him, everything felt right. It was a natural happiness I hadn't experienced before. I'm looking forward to it, I found myself saying. A year later, Andrew and I exchanged vows. Our colleagues at the company and in the pottery studio celebrated with us. Initially, we maintained 2 residences, one in his family's mansion near the pottery studio, which astonished me to learn belonged to his wealthy grandfather, and the other an apartment in the city center near my workplace. Today, we found ourselves in an interior shop, furnishing our apartment. Unexpectedly, a voice cut through the air. Is that plain Jane over there, Evelyn? It had been over 3 years, but Jack, my former fiancé, stood before us. With him was his model wife, Grace, whom he had married as he declared. Grace, once lively on social media and in magazines, appeared different, less charming, her expression harsher. Jack's sneering smile betrayed a lack of his usual energy. Hey, this is a fancy neighborhood. What are you doing here? He taunted. Do you need a permit to shop in such a place? This store is expensive, not your typical scene, especially for someone like you still clinging to that plain and poor aesthetic. Their unchanged, condescending attitude left me feeling disgusted, and I harbored no expectations for an apology. That's right, If someone as uncool as you hangs around, it'll lower the store's reputation. People might think we're poor too. Jack jeered. His unsolicited bragging only added to the annoyance. Did you come all the way here? Our house is that famous high-rise over there on the 25th floor, he added with a tone dripping with arrogance. Their relentless provocation grated on me, but I knew arguing would be futile. So I chose to remain silent, disliking the idea of dignifying the remark with a response. Jack, however, persisted. You still love pottery, huh? You look so poor. Oh, by the way, I make $100,000 a year now, he boasted, as if to punctuate his superiority. The sudden comment from Andrew caught us off guard. $100,000 a year. That must be tough, he remarked, surprising us all. Wait, who's this guy? Jack inquired, finally acknowledging my husband's presence. Nice to meet you, I'm Andrew. Evelyn used to work with you, I believe. Andrew introduced himself politely. They exchanged polite but superficial greetings. Are you married? Jack's wife, Grace, inquired condescendingly. Yes, I replied succinctly. That's strange. I thought your marriage was canceled due to Jack, she remarked, evidently assuming we had parted ways permanently. I see you married another guy, Jack noted dismissively. Well, then again, it's impossible for Evelyn to marry someone better than me, he declared, turning to Grace with a self-satisfied grin. Grace seemed to agree, not perceiving Andrew as a significant threat, given their biased perspectives. Evelyn, how do you intend to support yourself with such a modest income? You're no longer young. It must be hard to rely on your looks alone. Jack scoffed. Although irritated, I chose to remain silent, hoping they would leave us in peace. Andrew, we should go, I urged, but Andrew held me back, looking slightly perturbed. Evelyn, you were always so simple, Jack continued. Honestly, when we were together, I considered it a mercy date. With your looks and lack of fashion sense, I couldn't endure it, he taunted. Their comments, although hurtful, no longer pained me as they once did. My life with Andrew had brought a peace and fulfillment they could never understand. So, what brings you to this neighborhood? Jack persisted, his curiosity mingled with his need to assert dominance. Do you live around here? I responded calmly. We have an apartment nearby. You, with an apartment here? Don't make me laugh, Jack sneered. The high cost of living here must be unimaginable for you. Indeed, Grace chimed in. This neighborhood is for the elite. What are you even doing here? Their condescension was tiresome, and I was ready to leave when Andrew finally spoke up. Actually, our apartment is quite nice. It's in a prestigious building near the pottery studio. Evelyn is doing well for herself, and we're happy, he stated, his tone calm and confident. This revelation seemed to catch them off guard. Well, isn't that something? Jack muttered, clearly taken aback. Grace's smug expression faltered as they realized their assumptions were misplaced. Andrew continued, Evelyn's work is highly respected, and we're quite content. We're here to pick out some furniture for our home. Their stunned silence was a small victory. With a nod to Andrew, I felt a surge of gratitude for his unwavering support. Shall we continue? I suggested, ready to move on. As we walked away, leaving Jack and Grace behind, I felt a renewed sense of strength. My past may have been marred by disappointment, but my present was filled with love and promise. And that was all that mattered. As we walked away, leaving Jack and Grace behind, I felt a renewed sense of strength. My past may have been marred by disappointment, but my present was filled with love and promise. And that was all that mattered. In the interior shop, Andrew and I continued to browse through various pieces of furniture, discussing our preferences and envisioning how each item would fit into our apartment. His enthusiasm was contagious, and I found myself getting excited about the possibilities. It was a stark contrast to the encounter with Jack and Grace, a reminder of how far I had come and how much I had grown. Later that evening, as we settled into our cozy apartment, we reflected on the day. Andrew's support had been unwavering, and his calm demeanor during our encounter with Jack and Grace had been a testament to his character. "You handled that situation so well," I said, leaning into him on the couch. Andrew smiled, brushing a strand of hair from my face. "I just wanted to make sure you were okay. They had no right to speak to you that way." "Thank you," I whispered, feeling a wave of gratitude wash over me. "You're welcome," he replied softly. "You deserve to be treated with respect and love, Evelyn. And I promise to always be there for you." As we embraced, I realized that my happiness was no longer tied to the opinions or actions of others. My worth wasn't defined by Jack's betrayal or Grace's condescension. It was defined by the love and respect I shared with Andrew, by the passion I had for my work, and by the life we were building together. The following weeks were filled with busy days at the pottery studio and evenings spent decorating our apartment. We chose pieces that reflected both of our tastes, creating a space that felt uniquely ours. Andrew's eye for detail and my love for handmade items resulted in a harmonious blend of styles, making our home warm and inviting. One evening, as we were arranging the final touches in the living room, I received a message from an old friend who had been following my work. She had seen a recent feature on my pottery in a local magazine and wanted to catch up. The recognition was a pleasant surprise and a reminder of how far I had come since my days with Jack. "Andrew, look at this," I said, showing him the message. He read it and grinned. "That's fantastic, Evelyn. Your work is getting the attention it deserves." We decided to celebrate the small victory with a quiet dinner at home. Over a simple meal, we talked about our dreams and aspirations, the challenges we had overcome, and the future we were excited to share. Do you ever think about what life would have been like if things had turned out differently? Andrew asked, curiosity in his eyes. I pondered for a moment before responding. Sometimes, but I don't dwell on it. I believe everything happens for a reason. If I hadn't gone through those tough times, I wouldn't have appreciated what we have now as much, and I wouldn't have met you. He reached across the table, taking my hand in his. I'm grateful for every moment that led me to you, Evelyn. In that moment, I felt an overwhelming sense of peace. My journey had been fraught with challenges and heartbreak, but it had also led me to a place of profound love and fulfillment. With Andrew by my side, I knew I could face whatever the future held with confidence and grace. As we finished our dinner and tidied up, I reflected on how much had changed in just a few years. From the heartbreak of losing Jack to the joy of finding Andrew, my life had taken unexpected turns. But each twist and turn had brought me closer to the person I was meant to be and the life I was meant to live. That night, as we curled up on the couch together, I realized that my happiness wasn't just about the success I found in my career or the recognition I received. It was about the love I shared with Andrew, the home we had built together, and the simple, everyday moments that made life beautiful. Andrew, I whispered as we drifted off to sleep. Thank you for being my rock. He squeezed my hand gently. Always, Evelyn. Always. And with that, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together with love and resilience guiding our way. As the days turned into weeks and then months, Andrew and I continued to build our life together, filled with the warmth of shared dreams and the comfort of mutual respect. We found joy in the simple things. A morning walk through the nearby park, an impromptu date at a quaint cafe, or an evening spent working side by side in the pottery studio. Our love for each other grew stronger with every passing day. One day, while we were working on a new pottery collection, I received a call from a prominent gallery in the city. They had seen my work and were interested in featuring it in an upcoming exhibition. I was thrilled and a bit nervous, but Andrew's unwavering support bolstered my confidence. "That's amazing news, Evelyn," he exclaimed, his eyes shining with pride. "You deserve this opportunity. Your work is incredible." The months leading up to the exhibition were a whirlwind of activity. I spent countless hours perfecting my pieces, ensuring that each one was a true reflection of my passion and skill. Andrew was by my side every step of the way, offering feedback, encouragement, and his own artistic expertise. The night of the exhibition arrived, and the gallery was buzzing with excitement. Friends, colleagues, and art enthusiasts filled the space, admiring the pottery that had become my life's work. Andrew stood beside me, his presence a calming force amidst the excitement. As the evening progressed, I was approached by several influential figures in the art world, all expressing admiration for my work. It was a validation of the years of dedication and hard work I had poured into my craft. "I always knew you were talented, Evelyn, but seeing all your pieces together like this is truly inspiring," one of my old mentors said, shaking my hand warmly. "Thank you," I replied, feeling a deep sense of gratitude. "It means a lot to hear that from you." As the event wound down, I found a quiet moment to reflect on how much my life had changed. From the heartbreak of my past to the fulfillment of my present, it had been a journey of growth and resilience. And standing beside me through it all was Andrew, my partner, and my greatest supporter. We returned home that night, tired but elated. As we entered our apartment, Andrew turned to me, his expression soft and tender. "Evelyn, I'm so proud of you," he said, pulling me into a warm embrace. "Tonight was a testament to your talent and hard work. You've come so far." "Thank you, Andrew," I whispered, resting my head against his chest. "I couldn't have done it without you." Over the following months, my pottery business continued to flourish. Orders poured in from across the country, and I even received inquiries from international buyers. Andrew and I often found ourselves marveling at how much our lives had changed since we first met. One evening, as we were wrapping up our work in the studio, Andrew took my hand and led me outside. The sky was painted with the colors of the setting sun, casting a warm glow over the world. "Evelyn," he began, his voice filled with emotion, "I've been thinking about our future a lot lately. We've built something beautiful together, and I want to continue building it with you for the rest of my life." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Opening it, he revealed a delicate ring, the setting simple yet elegant, just like our love. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his eyes searching mine. Tears welled up in my eyes as I nodded, unable to find the words to express the depth of my feelings. "Yes, Andrew, I will," I finally managed to say. He slipped the ring onto my finger, and we embraced, our hearts full of love and hope for the future. Our wedding was a celebration of everything we had overcome and everything we had achieved. Surrounded by friends, family, and colleagues, we exchanged vows in a heartfelt ceremony that reflected our journey. The pottery studio was beautifully decorated, a testament to our shared passion and the love that had blossomed there. As we embarked on this new chapter of our lives, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The path that had led me here was not an easy one, but it had shaped me into the person I was today. And with Andrew by my side, I knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, we would face them together with love and resilience guiding our way. In the years that followed, our lives continued to be filled with joy, creativity, and shared dreams. We expanded our pottery business, traveled to new places, and eventually started a family of our own. Each day was a new adventure, a testament to the strength of our love and the beauty of our partnership. Looking back, I realized that the heartbreak and struggles of the past had been necessary steps on the path to true happiness. They had led me to Andrew, to a life of fulfillment, and to a future filled with endless possibilities. And for that, I was eternally grateful. As the years passed, Andrew and I settled into a rhythm of contentment, balancing our personal lives with our growing pottery business. We welcomed our first child, a beautiful baby girl we named Clara. Clara brought an added layer of joy to our lives, her laughter filling our home and her curiosity inspiring new creative projects. Parenthood, like pottery, was a learning process, full of moments of trial and error, joy and discovery. Andrew and I supported each other through sleepless nights and endless diaper changes, finding strength in our partnership. Clara's presence only deepened our bond, and as she grew, we introduced her to the wonders of clay and the magic of creating something from nothing. One sunny afternoon, while we were all in the studio, Clara, now 3 years old, tumbled over to a lump of clay on my work table. With Andrew's guidance, she began to shape it with her tiny hands. Watching her, I felt a surge of pride and happiness. It was a simple moment, but it encapsulated everything I loved about our life together. As our business continued to thrive, we decided to open a second studio, expanding our reach and sharing our love for pottery with even more people. The new studio quickly became a hub of creativity and community, attracting artists and enthusiasts alike. Andrew's reputation as a master potter grew, and I took pride in watching him mentor young artists, helping them hone their skills and discover their own unique styles. Despite our success, we never forgot the importance of giving back. We initiated community projects, offering free pottery classes to underprivileged children and hosting charity events to support local causes. These efforts not only strengthened our community, but also reminded us of the values that had guided us from the beginning: love, generosity, and the joy of creation. One evening, as we were putting Clara to bed, she looked up at us with her big, curious eyes and asked, "Mommy, Daddy, will I be a potter like you when I grow up?" Andrew and I exchanged a smile. "You can be anything you want to be, sweetheart," I replied, tucking her in. "But if you choose to work with clay, we'll be here to teach you everything we know." Years later, Clara did choose to follow in our footsteps. She inherited our passion for pottery and brought her own fresh perspective to the craft. Watching her develop her skills and create her own beautiful pieces was one of the greatest joys of our lives. Our family grew with the addition of a second child, a son we named Lucas. Like his sister, Lucas was introduced to the world of clay at a young age, and he too found joy in the creative process. Our home was always bustling with activity, filled with laughter, the hum of the pottery wheel, and the occasional crash of a dropped piece of clay. As Andrew and I grew older, we gradually passed the reins of the business to Clara and Lucas, confident in their ability to carry on our legacy. They brought new energy and ideas to the studio, blending tradition with innovation. It was a proud moment for us, seeing our children thrive and knowing that the love and passion we had instilled in them would continue to shape their futures. One summer evening, as the sun set over our garden, Andrew and I sat on the porch, reflecting on our journey. We had come a long way from those early days of uncertainty and heartbreak. Our lives were filled with love, creativity, and the deep satisfaction that comes from building something meaningful together. "I couldn't have asked for a better partner," Andrew said, taking my hand in his. "We've built a beautiful life, haven't we?" I squeezed his hand, feeling the warmth of his love. "Yes, we have, and it's only the beginning. There's still so much more to create, so many more memories to make." As we watched Clara and Lucas play in the garden, their laughter echoing through the evening air, I felt a profound sense of peace. Our journey had been one of resilience and growth, guided by love and the unbreakable bond we shared. And as the stars began to twinkle above, I knew that no matter what the future held, we would face it together, hand in hand, surrounded by the clay creations that told the story of our lives. The moral of this story is that resilience, passion, and integrity lead to fulfillment and success, both personally and professionally. The story illustrates several key lessons. Resilience in adversity. Evelyn's initial heartbreak and betrayal do not define her future. Instead, she overcomes her pain and builds a new, fulfilling life with Andrew. This teaches us the importance of resilience and the ability to move forward despite setbacks. Pursuing passion. Evelyn's dedication to her craft of pottery not only brings her personal satisfaction but also professional success. Following one's passion can lead to a fulfilling career and a happy life. Integrity and humility. Throughout the story, Evelyn and Andrew maintain their integrity and humility, even when faced with Jack and Grace's condescension and mockery. Their dignity and genuine kindness ultimately lead them to a happy and successful life, while Jack and Grace's superficial values and lack of integrity result in their downfall. Value of community and giving back. Evelyn and Andrew's commitment to giving back to their community through free classes and charity events enhances their lives and strengthens their community. This highlights the importance of generosity and community involvement. Supportive relationships. Evelyn and Andrew's supportive relationship enables them to navigate life's challenges together, creating a strong foundation for their family and business. Support and mutual respect in relationships are crucial for long-term happiness. Legacy and family. The story shows the value of passing on one's passion and skills to the next generation, as Evelyn and Andrew do with their children. It emphasizes the joy and fulfillment that come from building a legacy and nurturing the next generation. Overall, the story conveys that true happiness and success come from inner strength, dedication to one's passions, maintaining integrity, supporting others, and fostering meaningful relationships. Thank you for watching. Evelyn's journey from heartbreak to happiness reminds us that resilience, passion, and integrity can lead to a fulfilling and successful life. We hope this story inspires you to pursue your passions, stay true to yourself, and cherish the relationships that matter most. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this. See you in the next video.